little Betsy.
Sure, isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
You look
What's going on? I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Mamoudou.
Eric.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Hi,
Leah, good to meet you, twin.
I know. I'm dying. It was so funny. I saw you from down there and I went, wait a minute.
You're like, hold on.
So you've never left Firetown?
Sorry, buddy. Elements don't mix.
Hey!
Plus, my dad would boil you alive.
Why does anyone get to tell you what you can do in your life? Come on! Why do they even have these?
Who knows?
This is your first animated feature voice work that
Yeah.
each of you have done, right?
Yeah.
You're starting right at the top.
Yo, he's not lying.
It's a high bar, a very high bar
Yeah,
for sure.
spoiled.
Because but honestly though, I had been sending in voice tapes into the void for like a decade. So when this came out, I was like, I can't believe it's not butter. Like I was like, absolutely shocked because I'm like, whoa, like something actually stuck, you know? That's my story with voiceover.
I love your shoes, man. I'm so
Yeah, we
I
gotta
just,
give 'em a moment.
They're just special. They're so cool. Sorry. What was I'm just obsessed. I want those shoes.
What was the most surprising thing for each of you doing an animated feature versus live action?
Well, you know what? Okay, I was gonna say Pete made such a wonderful, like, comfortable atmosphere. It didn't feel like really unusual in any stretch of the imagination. But I was surprised by how exhausting it was.
Yes.
I was exhausted by the end. It was only 4 hours. Like we were on sets for like sometimes 16 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's like no problem. But 4 hours in the booth, just like, you know, giving and like kind of focusing it in like one direction, it was like, oh my God, this is a different level.
You definitely don't realize how much brain power you use to have to mentally create the world around you. Also, we didn't see many pictures of what was going on as well, so it was kind of left up to the imagination. But like, I mean, just to piggyback off of what Mamoudou was saying, like I would wear yoga clothing because I would be running, I would take my shoes off and I would stretch and do a bunch of things because it's not just your voice that's involved, it's a whole body affair. And it's, you put everything into like, you know, when I was running or when I was like screaming or trying to hold on to something, like I'd be pulling my own arm and I'm like there's just so much. And I'm like, if anyone saw this from the outside looking in, they'd be like, she's crazy or he's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you did, but I felt pretty crazy.
I did it. You have to do your thing, man. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta get there, so I'm gonna get there however I get there.
Yeah, and between that amount of physicality and the amount of crying that that Wade does, I imagine you're there by yourself, so you're finding it yourself.
Well, Pete was with us, and Pete is an
nice.
accomplished voice actor himself. And he's a great director, so we had a really good scene partner that was also like helping us. It doesn't really get better than this.
No, he gave us all the tools. He made us feel so safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
And you know, as much as I would have wanted to have Mamoudou in the room, like I mean, that was always the dream. I would watch videos of like Pixar stars in the booth together, and I'm like, okay, iconic.
Yeah.
But there's something that's actually quite positive to being alone in those vulnerable moments when I'm like, it's just me with myself. And Peter would turn the lights down way low and he wouldn't talk. He'd be like all ASMR, like, just take a minute. And I'm like, okay. And I was able to really go there to the parts of myself that maybe I would have been afraid to possibly show around another person, or it would have taken an extra minute to get there. So I actually found that kind of interesting.
I noticed something, unless IMDb is lying to me.
What's the IMDb you got to say?
For real.
You are a fire sign as a Sagittarius.
Oh,
and you are a water sign as Scorpio.
It's true, it's true. Man, you got the eagle eye.
I looked at this and I went, wait a minute.
It just kind of happened that way.
It was kismet.
It just kind of happened that way.
Eric, you
IMDb wasn't lying.
eagle eye. Wow.
I was like, okay.
You know.
This is well cast.
What's
I'm Sagittarius. So I'm
So you knew.
Well, you guys,
Pink,
you
pink.
guys are like,
that
Pink,
I'm
pink.
giving a little bit of high temper Ember today.
High temper Ember.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Your shoes are glass blown. They're beautiful.
the whole
Exactly.
thing.
Yes.
You know?
I'm like, I gotta go shopping.
I could see you copping some shoes like that.
You
very
totally
Mamoudou-esque.
I had something like kind of like that, like a little something to it.
Zhuzh.
I couldn't find the right outfit for it.
That's the problem. I don't know
One of
how
these
you
days.
paired that with that because that just stands by itself. I'm like, I'll
Okay.
just wear the shoes and that's it.
Here's the funny thing. This suit actually was that pink.
And it didn't.
No, I already wore it for a different event, and I'm not like a repeat like thing.
Yeah?
You're not a pink
So
repeater.
I dyed it.
You dyed it?
Yeah, and then I'll dye this again too.
How are you gonna get
you.
a dye to?
Blue for you.
I am a crafty girl.
I love her.
How do you dye your
I love this so much.
Patience, mostly, because it's linen.
You
too,
do it
so-
yourself?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
What is going on?
But enough about me.
Yeah.
All right.
Meet the residents of Element City. Air usually has their head in the clouds.
Oh, my new jacket!
Earth can be a little seedy.
Nothing weird going on here.
Just a little pruning.
What did you guys find out about yourselves in this process that maybe had been a little bit surprising?
I had just completed a really challenging process. And I was really just, I was really depressed. And this came at the right time. Really just was like a balm for my soul. I don't know if I discovered anything so much as just restored parts of my faith in frankly, the business and the people that I'm working with.
I love that.
Shoot.
I know, it's the truth.
I just love how vulnerable and honest you are.
Uh,
I think for me, I learned from the film while I was doing it, and I find that a lot of projects tend to do that for me. But even though I have been fiercely loyal and just so ecstatic about my family life, I think this film really, really made me even more gratuitous to the sacrifices that not just my parents, but my sister, the whole family has made for me as well. And I think just how Ember tries to find her creative flame and, kind of use something that she's quite ashamed of for good. I struggle with that on a daily basis. How do I make some of the things that I'm not as comfortable or confident with actually some of my best attributes and celebrate them? And so throughout this film, I feel like I've learned a lot from her and Wade and just, the way that the people like Peter and Denise have even led this film with just straight love and acceptance. It's taught me a lot about myself.
I love that.
Thanks for your questions.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Dude,
much.
it's so fun
It was
talking.
so good to meet you.
I love hot food.
You see? He likes it.